Hello. So I'm back here and it's gonna be English and Finnish, so englanniksi ja suomeksi. Ask a question, I'll check out, read the cards for you, and the questions are taken by the order how they appear in the chat. And there might be a small delay, so patience, don't worry about it. And still, didn't get the new glasses yet. Still waiting. And today, well, basically for me it's already yesterday. Hi Carla. I took the card and it was the Five of Swords today. So I did a lot of thinking it's related to the devil and the Hierophant, and for me, for example, it's like no matter what ideal you have or idea you have, and you fight for it, and if you go too much or you go overboard with that, that's not good, right? So you will end up being stuck, and you're gonna have to. You probably end up losing also. So there's many things that I found out today and I learned about it. It was pretty cool. I'm waiting for the new card. I had kind of like a Friday the 13th sort of shirt thing going on. Okay, Carl, let's see. So Carla would like to know if Virgo misses her. She's a Gemini. Okay, let's see what the cards have to say. I think I will take one sip of water. So, is Virgo missing Gemini card? Let's see what it says. Well, I would have to say yes. I would say misses you like heaven and earth in this case. And that there has been like a progression that has grown with maybe having some kind of secrets with this person and then going to more fruitful place, and then I see kind of stability in this. So, but yeah, I think simply put, yes, I think so. But I think this person might at present is kind of open-minded and feeling kind of open about all ideas and everything. But in the future, that this can evolve a little bit. That he's holding it to his own and like being kind of steadfast and well, also maybe be more confident about everything. But I would have to say yo. Sorry, yes. Yeah. Yo. Yo, he is missing. Okay. But yeah, today was the Five of Swords, which is somehow, for me, is a bit not so inviting card. I don't know, I don't like just somehow how it is, but I got more understanding today about it, so it made it more clear for me what it means. Let's see. But like I said, I think at this point, yeah, I was just telling about the Five of Swords that I studied today. But now, let's say, take the other question what you had. So does he want to see? Does Virgo want to see Carola? Okay. I would have to say yes also. And I think there could be some other reasons which is related to like a practical thing as well. Like the material earthy plane. So I think so. Yes. But I think this person is a little bit juggling about still this. Even I think it's very likely that he would like to see that yes, but he's a little bit juggling with the idea. So maybe he's a bit hesitant at the moment about it. But I think he wants to. Yes. Again, I get like another card here, which indicates a little bit the future that is like a king. So I would say that he also would like to feel like composed and together, and I would say that he's looking forward to starting something with you. Yeah, I think he might be coming around then in that case uh, to try to build something again. But I see him like, yeah, I think he's looking at the future in that sense that he's maybe not so mad anymore, and but I think he feels like he would need to be that he would somehow need to feel like a king, like that, and he wants to be in terms with his emotions, and he will be. So it could be also like that. This would mean that it could take a little while, yeah, before he would like to see you. Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, as I said, I think I would think that some message could be on its way. And I think this person had something practical also in mind, like something concrete. That maybe it could be that there is some kind of like a maybe could be that that there's some practical matter that has to be taken care of, but on the same time he could like indicate something of his feelings and how he is. he would like to meet you. Yeah, I think, like I said, I think he first has to feel maybe a bit more. He has to first feel more in balance with his emotions, and I think he needs to feel himself like a king towards that way. Oh, oh, well, that's rather serious by nowadays standards. For me, I would still say that he's a little bit like he might be expecting something from you, also kind of practical way. And some cycle has between you has really some cycle has ended, but I don't think it looks like that the relation would have ended. But something has come to full like a full circle between you two. And I think you need to pay attention also, like maybe to the messages and these things. If you get something from him, that you don't miss out on something that would give you ideas how he feels. But of course, if you cannot contact him like this, mm, well, there is well, not knowing about the distance between you, I cannot say from this, but I think there is some expectations on him, on his part. Like it's a little bit like a give and take, that you would bring something to the table for him and he would be then accepting or like this. I think luck could also play a role in this, so that you could somehow well, I don't know. Mm, I would pay attention if there is an opportunity. Like I said also that luck could play a role in this, and I think this person, even if he blocked you, could still be expecting some sort of a signal from you. So I don't know, could it be that you could still send a message that even if I don't know if the person cannot receive it, but it would show afterwards. So I don't know if it's possible that you would actually bump into each other. But definitely some cycle has ended, so something will change between you anyway. But I don't see that any way that would be like a, if anything is negative or positive. But I wouldn't see that as a negative change. I just would see that some part became to an end and another one could begin, right? But let's take one more card for Europe for advice about this. That should you take the first step? Let's take first about the step. Although I think he's a little bit thinking that maybe you could and then he could. It is soon a latte. Now I don't understand. Or day. somehow with what I took, I still would get an impression that he would be the one who would contact you. And when can you see the contact? Well, let's see if I can get something when he would possibly contact you then. I think it comes back down to this, that he would have to feel, like I said, like a king. So when he feels better with his own emotions. So I cannot tell you. So I cannot tell you exactly. I don't get here really like an exactly anything. Let's see if I can get anything more. But yeah, at the moment I don't think this person is ready for the contact. He hasn't gone through completely the thing, but I think he still misses you, like I said. And like I mentioned earlier, even with the virus and stuff and all things weird, if there's a possibility somehow to bump into this person, like physically, that could be possible. Well, if I have to keep something, if I have to keep something about, go ahead, Maite. Uh, if I have to give some kind of estimate when about the contact, I would say New Year. Funny that seems to be that people, I don't know, maybe it's about because the year ended, like we were talking about cycles earlier there. So my estimation would be based on this, that New Year, right? So yeah, Maite, Blue Star, you can ask a question. Go ahead. So there was a lot of talk, a lot of reading. So hopefully things stay from them. Thank you for coming to our channel. And have a pleasant evening. So yeah, what I do is like I am taking every day a card and I'm really studying it, and kind of there's no limits, like I mentioned yesterday. And today I was googling even things and symbols and relating the card to other cards and using my imagination. And this whole thing is a key. The whole tarot also is a key to the fountains of your imagination, so to speak. So it really gives you insight not only to this, to the cards and to the pictures and symbols that they have, but in general as well. So it's very helpful. And how and when I'm relating, today was the Five of Swords. When I'm relating to the other cards, of course, then I get understanding and more knowledge of the other cards as well. So it's really a rewarding thing to do. I write it down, and it might take first little while just to somehow like, okay, there's somebody with there's five swords, and then suddenly you start to make connections, and it's really awesome. So I highly recommend that. For example, if you want to study the cards and their meanings and yourself, like I mentioned. Let's take from here another deck, yet another deck. Let's see. What we have here. Maybe it's the last one on the deck. That tends to happen sometimes. Let's see. Then no, don't want that. Well, it was the second last of the deck. Actually, no, sorry, third last of the deck. But yeah, this, like I said about the Five of Swords, this is a different deck having this. So obviously, then you would get a little bit different ideas, even though there's some fixed meanings, of course, or agreed meanings with the cards. This is somehow, for me, much less, because the other one is kind of uninviting, but this is somehow a little bit more inviting card in that sense. And actually here is already Saturday, though, so the Friday the 13th kind of passed without any incident in the end. So now it's 2 a.m. here. Let's check out the cards. Just so here's, for example, Rider White card deck, tarot deck, Three of Wands. So it can be related 13, the Death, the Empress, and the Wands are fire. And this would be some initial completion already. And looking forward to moving on with things. And fire is well related to passion and creativity, among other things. And well, for me, studying the tarot has been that I have read like a couple of books about it and checked documentaries, videos, and just did the readings. Check out different web pages earlier, But the important thing is that you feel it as your own, and you get a sensation what is going on from the cards with the person who is asking the questions, or if you asking yourself something. Let's see what is next. And then somehow this kind of imagery, a heart pierced with three swords, or three of swords. So betrayal would be, for example, one thing, or seeing something how it truly is, which is could be kind of painful, and you kind of know the feeling like, ah, you feel it there. And well, it's also related to death and the Empress. So obviously knowing something in it, how it truly is, will give you also probably ideas that you need to change things. And the swords are air, which is the mind and logic, and among other things as well. So in the end, even if there's three swords piercing the heart, it's still not extremely grim setting. It just has kind of, I guess it's raining and everything. There might be some tears, I suppose, lagrimas, kyyneleitä. So for me, it's somehow like it's something like that actually looks worse than it is, but it looks painful. And that's what it is as well. Usually a realization of some situation can be, or the betrayal. Yes, most have experience on those. And so yeah, I'm doing English tonight for a while still, and Finnish, eli englantia ja suomen kieltä olisi tarjolla. Ja kysymykset listan mukaan. Jos joku haluaa, meille voi tehdä lahjoituksen, eli you can donate to us, which gives you our gratitude. And there's a PayPal link that you can check from the beginning of the chat. So basically, it guarantees you our appreciation. Nothing more, nothing less. Here's, for example, another Rider White, which I am using a lot, is the Knight of Cups. So that would be like a sort of like a very romantic lover, for example, a younger person, even could be, well, many things, I guess. Funny enough, for example, with the Rider White, you can find kind of similarities with the death, with the horse, how it is, and how this one is on the armor, how they are like progressing kind of upright, and this one is holding the cup. But if you would ask about a person you are with and you did this, I guess it would resonate kind of really good vibes. And well, cups being the water, and that would be like poetic, romantic emotions, like love, for example, in the first place, I suppose. And usually when you check out the cards, there's the actual characters, it's the background, and you can make a lot of conclusions with that. And, well, it being 12, so it's the Hangman, and High Priestess. So you relate that with those. And again, you can make a lot of different connections. And for me, usually when I start studying and start checking the card and what it means for me, and comparing what info I already have from it, it really it kind of explodes. I feel that there is just unlimited things in this, which is really nice and slightly scary, and I don't know, everything at the same time. because I have had at some points this that it would be interesting to have the whole truth, but in the end I guess it's really probably impossible to get the whole truth with every perspective there is together, or maybe you get it when you die and you become part of the cosmos and then you know everything and nothing, or something like this. But funny enough, I took another card. It came the same after shuffling. It was again the Three of Wands, red and white thing. Oh, and let's take another deck, which is quite a different one. It's the Hermetic Tarot with the Golden Dawn Crawley included in that at some point. So, for example, here's let's see if you can see it. It kind of reflects because it's really white. Ten of Wands, right? So, Lord of Oppression, and yeah, Ten of Wands in red and white is depicted with somebody carrying the wands, and they seem really heavy, and it's like the person is seems to be under a lot of burden in that case. Eli tuossa on nyt sitten Lanttien 9, The Hermetic Tarot, ja siihen liittyy sitten Golden Dawn ja Crawley muun muassa, jotka ovat näitä sitten tehneet. Nyt en muista miten se loppui, mä luin siitä jossain vaiheessa, että kuka sitten teki mitäkin ja näin poispäin. Lord of Material Gain. Ja yleensä no yhdeksiköt nyt on niinku tavallaan se ei se niinku lopputulos, mutta se isoin määrä sitä energiaa tavallaan. Eli se kertoo jo siitä, mitä tullaan saavuttamaan. Siinä sitten maa, eli Earth, on ikään kuin elementtinä, joka koskee sitten terveyttä, rahaa ja vaurautta ja kaikkea materiaalisia asioita. Ja semmoista niin kuin kouriin tuntuvaa jotain, mikä ei ole niin kuin vaan joku ajatus, vaan enemmänkin joku. Voi olla joku fyysinen esine tai ylipäätään hyvin konkreettinen asia. Et siinä olisi sitten tuosta. Ja niin kuin se sanookin tuossa, näissähän on, niin kuin näin tuossahan oli Lord of Material Gain. Eli materian herra voisi olla tämmöinen joku äkkinäinen käännös suomeksi. Ja tosiaan ollaan katsottu, oliko se nyt Mythic Fennica Tarot, Susanna Salo taisi olla tekijänä siinä. Ja siinä on tosiaan Kalevala henkisesti sitten tehtynä, ja siellä puhutaan maahista, väkistä, hiidistä ja vetehisistä. Ja siellä muun muassa löytyy tuosta tämmöinen kohta kuin Kanteleo Väinämöinen. Ja muuten jos katsoo näitä, mitkä on tähän Kalevalaan liittyen tehty, niin täällä on aika paljon. Jotenkin tuntuu, että tämä kuvasto näissä on aavistuksen synkkä, niin nyt ehkä kelitkin on Suomessa, ei ole ihan kesää lukuun ottamatta mikään aika lyhyt ja näin, vaikka nyt onkin paljon lämpöisempi kuin yleensä. Ja siellä on, mä käyttäisin wands eli sauvoista, niin se on The Dragon on Subway numero 10. Eli siinäkin on tuli huomataan heti ja siellä on aina jotenkin jonkinlaiset elementit, mitkä sitten on linkissä toisessa vähän kulttuurista riippumatta tuntuu, että joitain asioita, niin kuin on puhuttu, on maininnut monta kertaa, että Empress, hallitsijatar, voidaan ajatella, että se olisi esimerkiksi äiti tai äitimaa, ja siitäkin löytyy sitten niin kuin aika paljon samanlaisia käsityksiä ja sellaisia perusajatuksia, mitä tarkoittaa, että kun on äiti, vaikka äitiä on niin monta erilaista kuin äitiäkin, mutta sama kuin Emperor eli hallitsija, mikä en tiedä onkohan se miten hyvä suomennos loppujen lopuksi, mutta niin hallitsija olisi sitten isähahmo. Ja ainakin jonkunlaisessa stereotyyppisessä merkityksessä nehän on vähän, voisi olla niin, että isä on vähän semmoinen enemmän niin kuin käytännön ja tietty kuri ehkä enemmän, äiti on semmoinen niin kuin, sympaattisempi ja hänellä on erilainen luonnollinen tapa lähestyä ja kuunnella, ja sitten isähahmo on toisella. Monella ihmisellä varmaan olla ihan tietenkin on omat kokemuksensa aiheesta, mutta sehän niin oikeastaan kieli ja kaikki muu perustuu siihen, että on jotain asioita, mitä on sovittu, että mitä joku asia sitten tarkoittaa. Muistaakseni niin, että taisin lukea, että oli Vortex, niin siellä oli se nyt sitten hiisi, joka pelkäsi lohikäärme. Ei sanonut tehdä vedestä tällaista, koska lohikäärme taas on tällaisessa, mikä on jännä tavallaan juttu sinällään, että sieltä näytetään vettä ja sitten tämmöinen lohikäärme oli tässä esimerkiksi niin Ten of Wands, eli Subway numero 10, joka on sitten taas tulta. Että sieltä vedestä tulee se tuli, niin siinä elementtejäkin käydään aika hyvin läpi. Ja itse olen tässä kuunnellut lähiaikoina, katsonut YouTubesta muun muassa, se on Sandy Guru, mikä on mun mielestä aivan loistava kaveri, että sillä on erittäin älykkäitä ja fiksuja juttuja, mitä se kertoo. Ja sieltä löytyy asioita, mitkä on, niin kuin, liittyy selvästi näihin, mitä on otettu tarotkortteihin mukaan, niin kuin Intian ja sieltä suunnalta kaiken kaikkiaan. Mutta jostain syystä hänellä on ikään kuin hyvä huumorintaju, että tulee ikään kuin jokea ja sitten tulee joku erittäin niin kuin syvällisesti kerrottuna joku asia. Muun muassa siellä oli, mitä kuuntelin sellaista, että jos nyt saisit kaikki mitä haluat ja kaikki ihmiset, ketä olet halunnut, kaikki tavarat, kaikki mahdolliset selvistyy siitä. Ja siellä oli esimerkkinä, käytettiin sitä, että joku eksyi paratiisiin ja sitten meni puun äärelle alle, josta ei tiennyt, että se on semmoinen, mistä toteutuu toiveet, niin hän halusi ensin ruokaa. No ruokaa tuli kaiken muista mahdollista, niin se oli hyvä, ja sitten sen jälkeen tuli, kun hän halusi juoda, niin sieltä tuli kaikkea mahdollista juomista ja alkoholista lähtien, ja sitten hän joi, ja olisiko ollut ihan ekana itse asiassa, että hän halusi levätä, ja siinä oli ruoho sitten hyvä paikka, missä pehmeä puun alla, missä pystyi lepää, ja sitten rupesi epäilys herää, että mikäs tämä paikka on, että täällä on varmaan aaveita, kun täällä tuntuu toteutuvan nämä toiveet. No sittenhän aaveita tuli, ja sitten tämä poloinen rupesi puun alla pelkäämään, että nyt ne varmaan sitten kiduttaa häntä. Ja no sitten ne aaveet kidutti sitä henkilöä, ja sitten hän rupesi pelkäämään, että hän varmaan kuolee siinä. No sitten se kuoli. Eli tavallaan hän sai toivo ja sai kaikki haluamansa, mutta se oli sitten vähän kuin tuho siinä kohtaa. Eli siinä kannattaa vähän miettiä, että siinä mielessä kun on tämmöistä The Secret ja muuta, että ajattelemalla jotain ja keskittymällä, mitä sitä elämäänsä pyytää universumilta tai miltä kukakin haluaa sen ajatella, niin sieltä sitä sitten saattaa tulla. Itse tuossa voin heittää hassuna kommentteja vielä sellaisen, että jossain vaiheessa nämä sähköpotkulaudat jotenkin vähän silleen, että niitä on joka puolella. Ja sitten mä kirjoitin Facebookiin tähänkin, että nyt niitä kohta löydyn varmaan omasta kylpyhuoneestani yhden. Ja että niitä on koko ajan vaan enemmän. No sitten se oli seuraavana päivänä ja siitä eteenpäin niin tuntuu, että niitä on vaan ollut tässä meidän talon ympärillä niin kuin jätettynä kadun varteen niin kuin vielä enemmän kuin aikaisemmin. Et niin kuin mä keskityin jotenkin siihen, että se oli vähän niin kuin läppä, joke, vitsi, että ne varmaan kohta löytyy tosiaan omasta kämpästäkin, joku on tänne semmoisen parkkeerannut, mutta tavallaan siinäkin tuli se, että pisti vähän energiaa siihen, että no niitä on varmaan kohta lisää. No olihan niitä lisää. Eli siinä kannattaa olla tarkkana, mitä sitä elonsa kutsuu, että ottaa vastaan. Koska väittäisin, että siihen pystyy vaikuttaa aika kovin. So, yeah, I was talking about this that in Finnish, that you should be careful what you wish for, because I've been checking this Sunday Guru thing a lot, and there's, I don't know, you can, with the Indian traditions, which are ancient, you can find things on the cards that are about the elements and many other things that are related. And this person, for example, I think he's really witty, he's like, has a great sense of humor, makes cool jokes, but then he tells you like really deep things. And I don't know, I just somehow, for me, it's really nice to just listen to this person talking, because he's not just somehow talking about ancient traditions, but he seems to have knowledge about, you know, like sciences, and he's not some backwards person in that sense, but he has the spiritual stuff going on really well for himself, and he also is up to date about things. And I have seen him having discussions with some scientists, and they had really like constructive things to say, and this guy can hold his own, and what he says is really seems to be really profound, like that he doesn't go beating around the bush that much, and gives good examples, and he doesn't waste words, sort of, so to speak, in that case. So so that's something I would recommend, just, I don't know, for anything. At least for me, it's really, really nice. Then let's take another Rider White, 8-7 of Swords. So again, it's an air sign. There's a person who's carrying the swords away, so it could be time for diplomacy, or somebody has done something like kind of disgraceful, and kind of moving away, you know, like a little bit sneaky. So that would be like, if this would be about a person and comes up, it would be something that I would think twice for trusting, for example. And has kind of smile on his face, so he's doing something at least a little bit nasty, I think. Could be easily. And then related to the Chariot, and how I get luck with this Chariot, and was it why? Well, anyway, with the Chariot would be movement, like defending borders, and being steadfast and getting things done. I remember reading that there would be considered this person who is riding in the Chariot, that funny enough, that person in the end is not moving, that person kind of stays still, but the Chariot would be the one moving, that he stays still in the Chariot. And here is the Chariot. Here you have these two creatures, sphinxes, looking to different directions. So you would also have to be kind of steadfast, you have to guide it. Somebody mentioned it could be war, but I don't see it quite like a war war thing maybe, depending on what cars you look at. And of course, so 17 was the 7 of swords. There is the star. So you can this person's kind of naked and about seeing signs, having faith, among other things. And this one is pouring the waters down. So I guess it would come down to also to this, that you kind of have faith that what you are doing, even whatever it is, but you have faith that you are doing it good and all that in the end. And one great way also with the tarot, I would say, there's the Two of Cups. That would be easily a relation. It comes second from the Ace, where is the pure energy of the cups. And now there's two sides for it. It could be like there was a potential for some kind of relation. Now there is a relation, and there has to be two sides considered what's going on. It's like a celebration. It could be some kind of union, of course, and some kind of stability, harmony. So there's countless things. It could be also 12 and 2, so High Priestess and the Hangman. So yeah, meditation is also a good way. We have guided meditations on our channel with Marcel Tarot cards. There's something in Finnish, eli suomeksi löytyy meditaatio tarot-korteilla. Marcel Tarot on meillä käytössä niissä, siellä on ohjeet. Ja moni, esimerkiksi haaveilijat voisi olla The Fool. Niin se on aika simppeli juttu. Kannattaa tsekata sieltä. So we have different meditations with the Marcel Tarot. So if you want to get more understanding of some card, you can check the videos. And if you see something you like it, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell so you know when we are on. I'm gonna be here a little while still. And yeah, for what I had today was the 5 of Swords, like I said before. This one is actually missing the feet. Let's keep it a bit hidden there. So what could be that this card would indicate that this person's journey through, that it shows like a cartoon, sort of like first this person is this, then it's that, and then it will be on the 6. And he's moving away on a boat with his family. Seems to be a kid and maybe a wife. And funny enough, when you have then you have the devil. It's kind of related to this as well. And there's, if you look at these two cards, there's like 3 persons here in both. And somehow, well, the devil maybe it's not quite the devil as it's pictured in the cards. I guess it's much more complicated than it's what Baphomet, I think, was the god there. But basically, somehow there's an indication that the devil is having the right hand like this with 5 fingers, and the Vulcan, which is actually Shin in, was it Yiddish, in Jewish tradition, like 21st letter of the alphabet, and the number is 300 for that. So you can derive different things, and actually the Shin is also considered that it could be in Latin the X, what the devil has on his hand, so it would be the unknown. So that gives really interesting stuff. Eli sieltä löytyy erilaisia symboleita, eli esimerkiksi toi Devil tekee tavallaan tämän, ehkä jopa voisi sanoa kaikkien tunteman Vulcan Hello-jutun, ja sieltä löytyy sitten X, eli mikä on sitten johdettu ehkä tässä Shin, joka oli tosiaan 21. kirjan tässä sitten Hebreassa liittyen tämmöiseen juutalaiseen perinteeseen kumminkin esimerkiksi. Eli X tarkoittaisi niin kuin latinassa ja tämmöisessä yhtälöissä, jos olisi niin tuntematon. So the X would be here like unknown, like it's in the equations. And you can check the colors, what they have here, eli värejä voi verrata. And somehow for me, feels like this guy here in the Five of Swords has the legs are missing, sorry. I think that went in a mountain when we got caught by a storm. We had the cards there and they got wet. And, well, it still works. It's not a good idea to damage your tarot cards. You should keep them safe though. But I would say that this guy has the legs and the hands working for the devil, so to speak, and it's like this wild side, an animal, and this person is looking to the past, which could be, for, if you put the cards and think about it, it's the Four of Swords. He's looking what happened before, and he was resting that maybe he got into this situation that he wasn't quite wanting that. And then he's looking at the Emperor, which would be somehow under it, this kind of way you put the cards there. That he doesn't quite know what he's looking at. He wants to be left alone, or he kind of tries to portray a picture that he's sure what has happened. But then you can look at the swords, and I felt like he had been trying to hold all the swords and they dropped them, not like the enemies would drop them on his feet, but he tried to keep all the swords. And you can relate it to the Temperance, for example. Also in a way through the Four of Swords, which is connected to this, and then I would find that this guy is missing the balance. That's why he dropped the swords, for example. So it's funny. You can even look at the cards without having any prior knowledge of any kind, and obviously you will get ideas because it's symbols, and some of the meanings would just come to you. And it's funny that I have compared notes with Davinia, for example, about the cards, and there's things that we found surprisingly the same. And the funny thing is that he was using a more like doing the same thing. She was using more like a Marshall tarot, and I was using the Rider White, and we still got kind of same conclusions as well, which was really nice in the end. But yeah, like I got a bit carried away already now, and this is what happens when you start reading the cards. Oh, sorry, I have my shoulder and back a little bit hard, so I should make the stretches more often. But you start to make the connections, and it just goes like a snowball. It just grows bigger, and then there's infinite amount of things that go around. So what I do when I go with the cards, which was the 5 now, I start writing it down at some point. First I look at it for a while, and that's something you need to do. At least for me, I think it's recommended whatever you do, some creative stuff, writing or piece of music, that shouldn't put it down immediately. Maybe you should let it just brew in your head for a while, and then you start putting it down. And I don't even remember everything that I put down, but I'm gonna go through it. And it's like one idea leads to another, and I don't know, it's fantastic. I really enjoy it. So I recommend doing that. Take a card a day. See what you can find out. It is really, really interesting in the end. So there's the 2 of Swords. Somehow there's a person balancing, and the waters are kind of calm, so it seems like the person is kind of stuck. It's like a stalemate. You have the moon there, and would be related to the High Priestess, which funny enough has a moon on her feet in these cards as well. And then again 12, which this is the Hangman. hanging upside down but willingly on the tree, which can be related to who knows how many things. For example, the Odin, I think he was 9 days upside down on the world tree hanging. Then he got the runes, which I have one hanging here, which is the rune of the mouth. And then I have this kind of Chinese thing, which is my combination, and tetragrammaton. So I have things hanging on my neck because it is the right thing to do. But yeah, there is like a lot of different legend that I think the tarot just combines infinite amount of things, and the pictures tell more than 1,000 words. And these pictures somehow well thought. So let's see. Let's take one more from here. And that would be the tower. So I think very classic thing to say would be that things that have not been built in a solid foundation will come crumbling down. And it's a sudden thing, and it comes something that sudden realization that something will really seriously be strike down. And for me, when I was looking at this, because this can be also sort of, you have the 5 and then you go to the 6, and then it has the 16 and lovers and the tower. So for me, for example, from this, which is from the last, from the 5, I would see that in some way you could think that there is the Hierophant falling from the tower and the Temperance. I didn't quite figure out what that would mean, but they seem to have kind of similar clothing, and the crown is falling there. And somehow I was linking the devil. Of course, it's the 15, so it's before this, but now it escapes me what I had to do with this in the end. And the crown, but that was also like sort of linked there. So it is really nice thing to do, and really fits your head, your imagination, and I guess it's probably psychologically good for your head and physiologically too, to use it. This is something that I recommend to everyone. And who's to say what is the source you can find information in the end. So let's see. Let's take a sip of water here. Let's take one still from here. Let's see something nice or nice, but let's take something. And here, for example, is the Golden Dawn and Crawley kind of thing going on. And this is the Empress, if you can make it from that. So it's kind of different that it's, of course, black and white compared to the Rider White, Daughter of the Mighty Ones. So that is, yeah, I guess that gives you different ideas. There's fires burning, and I suppose it's female energy as well, and like a feminine energy, and the mother and creativity and everything. But that's yet another interpretation from the Empress, right? Then King of Wands. Put it like this. It's a bit difficult to show this with the white. Now. And the King of Wands is Prince of the Chariots of Fire. And Wands being the fire, and even with the Rider White, which is like a little bit less depicted, but it's a little bit less kind of symbols and everything. You can get the sensation that there's a king that is sitting there and is really ready to move fast by an impulse. And basically, well, I guess they have seen the same here, and this one is really kind of restlessly going forward and getting things done, maybe doing and then thinking after. So I guess that's fire for you also. It's like passion, desire, hot tempers, and Prince of the Chariots of Fire. How about that? That's something, I guess. But yeah, I think it's my time to pack it in for this evening, and I don't know, maybe tomorrow again, maybe on Sunday, maybe on both. I think latest on Monday. But if you like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when I'm on, or when Sam or Davinia is on. So thank you for this. Stay safe. See you in the future.